Hello and welcome to the second part of the lesson on Surds. Let's go to the questions. Given A is equals to 4 plus root 2 and B is equals to 2 plus root of 2, evaluate A over B, leaving your answer in the form C plus D root E. Hence, find the value of C, D, and E. So we shall begin by expressing this A divided by B, given that A is 4 plus root 2, B is 2 plus root 2. So in evaluating this surd, we start by rationalizing the denominator, and that one will be done by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. The conjugate, that is the conjugate of the denominator, is 2 minus root 2. So this conjugate is what you're going to use to multiply both the numerator and the denominator. So we multiply it out, 4 plus root of 2 divided by 2 plus root of 2, multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by this conjugate. So 2 minus root 2. So let's begin with the numerator, multiplying out the numerator, 4, this is 2 root 2 plus root of 2, 2 minus root 2, opening the brackets, 4 times 2, 8, 4 times root 2, this will give 4 root 2, plus, this is 2 times root 2, give 2 root 2, then this will be root 2 times root 2, this will give root 4, which is 2. Simplifying, 8 minus 2 will give 6. Then we have negative 4 root 2 plus 2 root 2. That one will give negative 2 root 2. So that is the numerator. Now let's come to the denominator. So denominator, the denominator is 2 plus root of 2 multiplied by 2 minus root 2. So denominator is a difference of two squares. So this is a difference of two squares. If this is difference of two squares, it will simplify to 2 squared minus root of 2 squared, which will give 4 minus this is 2. This will give 2. So this is the solution for the denominator. Now let's go to the final solution now. So the final solution will be given by the numerator, which is 6 minus 2 root 2, 6 minus 2 root 2, divided by the denominator, which is 2. Dividing these, you get 3 minus root of 2. So that is what you get. Now we can compare with the format that you're given. The format you're given is C plus D root 2. C plus D root 2. So C plus D root 2. We can compare and get this is E. I'm sorry. This is root E. So comparing these, C is given by 3. Then D is given by negative 1 and E is given by 2. So that is how you're supposed to work out that question. Simplify the following, leaving your answer in the simplest form possible. So we can work out these two fractions separately. So we can start by taking these 2 divided by root of 6 plus root of 3. We rationalize these, get the solution, then we go to the other fraction. So let's begin with these. So to simplify this, we need to rationalize. So we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. That will be given by 2 divided by root 6 plus root of 3. Multiply this on. The conjugate of the denominator will be given by root of 6 minus root of 3. The denominator the same, root of 6 minus root of 3. So that is so we go to the numerator. Working out the numerator, we get 2 root 6 minus 2 times root 3, 2 root 3. Now for the denominator, this will be difference of 2 squares. Therefore it will be given by root of 6 squared minus root of 3 squared. And this one will simplify to 2 root 6 minus 2 root 3, everything divided by, this will be 6 minus 3, and finally we get 2 root 6 minus 2 root 3, everything divided by 3. So that is one part of the fraction. Now let's go to the other part of the fraction. So the other part, the fraction, is this. We have 5 divided by root of 7 minus root of 5. So we do the same. We rationalize the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. So this is root 7 plus root of 5. So root of 7 plus root of 5. So the numerator be given by 5 root 7 plus 5 root 5, everything. The denominator is the difference of 2 squares, so it will be given by root of 7 squared minus root of 5 squared. This one simplifies to 5 root 7 plus 5 root 5 divided by, it will be 7 minus 5. You get 5 root 7 plus 5 root 5 divided by 2. So this is the other fraction that you get. So on the left hand side we got this, the right hand side we got this. So we can now subtract. Take 2 root 6 minus 2 root 3 divided by 3. This is what you got here. Subtract the solution for the other fraction, which is 5 root 7 plus 5 root 5 divided by 2. So in solving this, we require to get the LCM, the least common multiple of 3 and 2, which is 6. So 6 divided by 3, we get 2 brackets 2 root 6 minus 2 root 3, then subtract 6 divided by 2, we get 3, everything divided by 5 root 7 plus 5 root 5. So that is what you get. Now we can open these brackets. You get, this will give us 2 times 2 root 6 will give 4 root 6 minus 4 root 3 minus 15 root 7 then minus 15 root 5, everything divided by 6. Now looking at this expression, whether we can be able to simplify this one further, you notice that so far we may not be able to simplify this one any further. So this is in the simplest form. So I can't see the like term. This is root 6, root 3, root 7, root 5. So we can't simplify this one. This is the simplest form that you can give, and therefore that will be the solution. So that is how you're supposed to simplify that kind of a question in Surds. Simplify without using a calculator or mathematical tables. So we shall begin by simplifying. Root of 8 can be simplified. This is 4 multiplied by 2, and this, the simplest form, will give 2 root of 2. Now for cosine of 45 degrees, we shall consider to use an isosceles right-angled triangle. An isosceles right-angled triangle. You can sketch it, just a rough sketch. This is an isosceles right-angled triangle of sides 1 unit, 1 unit, and this will be root of 2. This angle will be given by 45 degrees. This one will be given by 45 degrees. So this is what we're going to use to get the expression for for cosine of 45. So from this triangle, cosine of 45 degrees will be given by, we can use any of these two angles, okay, adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 1 over root of 2. Now we can go ahead and simplify this. 1 divided by root of 2 is the same as if we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by root of 2. This one shall give root of 2 divided by 2. So it's the same. So we're going to consider using this. Now after doing that simplification, we can now insert. So root 8 is 2 root 2 divided by 1 plus cosine of 45 is root 2 divided by 2. So this is what now we're going to simplify. Now to simplify this, we can start by rationalizing the denominator. Rationalize the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. In this case we have 2 root of 2, that is the numerator. Multiply this one by the conjugate of the denominator, which is 1 minus root 2 over 2. Then for the denominator we have 1 plus root 2 over 2, multiplied by the conjugate. This is root 2 by 2. That is right. So open the brackets. The numerator we have 2 root 2 minus, this is 2 root 2 multiplied by root 2 over 2. This will give 2 root 4 over 4. Actually this will give 2. You can see this will give 2. Yeah, it will give 2. 2 root 2 multiplied by root 2 over 2. This will give 2. So that is the numerator. Now for the denominator, this is difference of two squares. Difference of two squares, we have 1 squared, that is minus root of 2 squared, and this simplifies 2 root 2 minus 2, everything divided by, so this will give 1 minus, so this will give 4, this will give root 2 squared will give 2 divided by 4, so this will give 1 over 2. Now after getting that, we can proceed and simplify this one further. So 2 root 2 minus 2 divided by 1 minus a half, this will give a half. So we divide everything by a half, and this one gives, if we divide 2 root 2 divided by a half, we give 4 root 2, then 2 divided by a half will give 4, and we get solution as 4 root 2 minus 4. So that is how we're supposed to work out the question. So we started by expressing root of 8 as 2 root 2, then we obtained the expression of cosine of 45 in third form. We used an isosceles right angle triangle of sides 1 unit and the hypotenuse is root 2. We simplified and we got cosine of 45 as root 2 over 2. Then we inserted now in our question, after substituting the values that we've got, we rationalized to simplify these, multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. Then from there we were able to go further and simplify everything, and we obtain the solution. So that is how we're supposed to work out that question. Simplify without using tables or calculators. So the first thing we're going to do is to express cosine of 60 and tan of 30 in third form, and to do this we're going to use an equilateral triangle of sides 2 units. So let's sketch that first. So that is what you're going to use. So we can subdivide it into 2 such that we have this side is 2 units, this will be 1, this will be 1, this angle is 60, this one will be 30 degrees, and this other will be 30 degrees, this is 60 degrees. Now from this we shall be able to obtain cosine of 60 degrees. We can use any of these. 60 cosine is given by adjacent of hypotenuse, adjacent which is 1, hypotenuse is 2. We also need tan of 30. For tan of 30 you can use any of these 2 angles. Tangent is given by opposite of adjacent. So this height is root of 3, the height of that triangle. So opposite of adjacent will be 1 over root 3. And this one, you can simplify this one by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by root of 3. We get 1 times root 3 divided by root 3 times root 3. And this gives root 3 over 3. You can use these instead. So we have cosine of 30 as a half, and we have tan of 30 as root 3 over 3. Now we can proceed now and insert these in our question, where we have 1 minus cosine of 30 is a half, cosine of 60 is a half, divided by 1 plus tan of 30 is root 3 over 3. Now to simplify these, we're going to rationalize the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. We can simplify this on 1 minus a half, the numerator. That one will automatically give a half. So this is 1 plus root 3 over 3. So we multiply the numerator, the denominator, the conjugate is 1 minus root 3 over 3. We are rationalizing the denominator. So 1 minus root 3 over 3. So this gives a half. When you multiply this, we can just leave the numerator the way it is, 1 minus root 3 over 3. Then for the denominator, represents difference of two squares, and for the difference of two squares, just take the first 1 squared, which is 1, minus root 3 over 3 squared. So this gives a half, 1 minus root 3 over 3, everything divided by 1 minus root 3 squared divided by 3. That gives a third, because this will give root 3 squared with 3 over 9. So this one gives a third. So this will give a half, 1 minus root 3 over 3 divided by 1 minus a third is 2 thirds. So we divide this a half, 1 minus root 3 divided by 3. Everything is divided by 2 thirds, and this gives if you simplify this to give 3 over 4, everything 1 minus root 3 over 3. Or you can just open the bracket and give the answer as 3 over 4 minus root 3 root 3 over 4. So that is solution. So you can give it in these two forms, these two answers, 3 over 4 to bracket 1 minus root 3 over 3, or 3 over 4 minus root 3 over 4. So that is how we're supposed to work out that question. Simplify without using tables or calculators. So the first thing you're going to do is to express cosine of 60 degrees and sine of 45 as surds, or in form of surds. And here you're going to use two triangles. One triangle you're going to use is an isosceles right-angled triangle. That is what you're going to use. So an isosceles right-angled triangle. So that is what you're going to use. Then another triangle that you're going to use is an equilateral triangle, sides 2 units. So these are the two triangles that you're going to use to obtain cosine of 60 and sine of 45. Now we can, this is side 1, this is 1, this will be root of 2. This side is 45 degrees, this one is 45 degrees. We can divide this one exactly at the middle. Sorry for this line is not very straight. Exactly at the middle of this line, so that you have 1 1, and that is 90 degrees. And this one will be 2, this will be 2, the height will be root of 3. We're just sketching this, just a sketch. Since this one is an equilateral, this will be 60 degrees, this will be 30 degrees, this will be 30 degrees, this will be 30 degrees. Now from the first triangle we shall obtain sine. So this is a sine of 45 degrees. Sine is given by, we can use any of these two angles that are 45, opposite of hypotenuse, so 1 over the hypotenuse, which is the root of 2, and this one can be simplified by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by root of 2. This one can also be written as root 2 over 2. Then we have cosine of 60. We're going to obtain this one from this triangle. Cosine of 60, this is supposed to be 60 degrees. Is one angle here that is supposed to be 60. We will label this one as this one is supposed to be 60 degrees. So we can use any of these two angles. Cosine of 60 is obtained by adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is 2. So cosine of 60 is a half. Having those two, we can now come to the question 1 divided by cosine of 60, which is a half. So this is a plus. We have this one is sine of 45, which is root 2 divided by 2. Now to simplify this, we just need to rationalize the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate, and the conjugate of the denominator is half minus root 2 over 2. Go to the denominator, a half plus root 2 over 2 multiplied by its conjugate, which is a half minus root 2 over 2. So this gives, the numerator will just remain as a half minus root 2 over 2. The denominator will be difference of two squares, to be given by half squared minus root 2 over 2 squared. This gives a half minus root 2 over 2. The denominator, this will give a quarter minus root 2 over 2 squared. We give root 2 squared will give 2, then it will be 2, then 2 squared is 4, so this will be a half. Since it will be 2 divided by 4, that is a half. So that is what you have. You have a half minus root 2 divided by 2. Subtract a quarter minus a half. This one will be given by negative a half, negative a quarter, I'm sorry. So this will give negative a quarter. This one will give negative a quarter. So we are almost finishing. So we have half minus root 2 divided by 2. Everything divided by negative a quarter. We can factor out the numerator is a half. This is 1 minus root 2. This is the easiest way. And then you divide it by a quarter. This is negative a quarter. So this will give negative 2. 1 minus root 2, and this gives negative 2 plus 2 root 2 as the solution. That is how you're supposed to work out that question. So the first step, we go through the steps very fast. First step is to write cosine of 60 and sine of 45 in terms of form of surd by using these two triangles that you have obtained there. Then you, after inserting those surds, you rationalize the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator.